We're going to look at some of his absolute worst playoff performances. And honestly, there are a lot of them spread out across almost every single playoff run that he's had. I'm not kidding.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a good day. So, earlier today, I reacted to a video and said my piece with Jimmy Butler. Well, the other player I wanted to get it out with and just let it go is Mr. James Harden himself. Yeah, just an absolute playoff bust, you guys. I've been screaming it from the rooftops for years now. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear every single regular season when he's playing great. I don't want to hear, oh, maybe this is his year. Oh, it's looking different. He's different now. Blah, blah, blah. I really don't want to hear it anymore because it is what it is. Once the playoff starts, he becomes whatever you want to call him. You want to call him Playoff Harden? We'll call him Playoff Harden. Playoff Harden is terrible. He doesn't even try in the most crucial games. He doesn't even take shots in the most crucial games. And him being, an ex-scoring champion and all that just drives me crazy. Because when his team needs him the most in a Game 7 situation, he absolutely disappears. You think LeBron James is bad at this? LeBron's got nothing on what James Harden does in these situations, you guys. So anyways, we're going to check in with my buddy Johnny Arnett here because he's got a perfectly titled video, The Worst Playoff Superstar Ever. You see a big old image of James Harden on the thumbnail, so I know exactly what I'm getting into here. So, as I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you. So if you want to check out Johnny Arnett's channel, highly recommend it. Everything's great on his channel except for his terrible intro, as you'll see in just a second. But anyways, I highly recommend you check out that channel. And yes, I'm just trolling here. So, all right, everyone, like the vid. I'd appreciate it. And let's go. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about James Harden. I really do, because I've gotten some interesting comments over the course of this channel's existence. And a lot of you, every regular season, you buy into the nonsense.
James Harden's career has become one of the most controversial in NBA history. This is a guy who is undeniably on the short list of the greatest scorers of all time. He's one of only 3 players in NBA history to score 36 or more points per game in a season.
Yeah. Between
the 2010 to 2011 and the 2019 to 2020 seasons, no player in the NBA scored more points than the Beard. This amazing gift to put the ball in the basket has allowed Harden to see the playoffs in all 16 years of his career.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
but
good point.
Sadly, that's where the praise ends.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to playoff basketball, James Harden has built a reputation that no superstar wants. In fact, he might just be the worst playoff performer of any superstar in NBA history.
I mean, Johnny's too nice, so he's not going to say it. I'm just going to say it. There's a reason we have this word, and this is exactly what it's for. Choke. Regular season, great. Pressure in the playoffs, choke every year. I'm sorry.
Sure, if you look at the numbers without the context, you might think that's an exaggeration. Of the guys with over 100 playoff games played, Harden is one of only 4 players to average what he has or better in the playoffs. But this far from tells the story. Today,
I didn't expect that.
We're doing a deep dive into...
And hold up, who else was on that list? Bird, Braun, Harden, Westbrook. Interesting.
To how and why James Harden has earned this underwhelming reputation. We're going to look at some of his absolute worst playoff performances. And honestly, there are a lot of them spread out across almost every single playoff run that he's had.
Yikes.
I'm not kidding.
Yikes. Okay, fine. At least you shot the ball. What's going on here? How's your lead scorer going to shoot the ball 8 times?
Putting this list together took way longer than I thought it would.
This is going to be fun.
So settle in and get comfortable.
I am.
Because you're about to see just how many historically bad playoff games this man has had.
Oh, man.
2012 NBA Finals, Games 3 and 4. We start all the way back in 2012, when Harden was just 22 years old and was playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay, interesting, because I don't recall him, like, choking when he played for the Thunder, so let's see.
He had been named the Sixth Man of the Year for the regular season and was exceptional off the bench in the Western playoffs, scoring double figures in every game.
Okay.
But when the NBA Finals came around, the pressure seemed to hit hard. In both Game 3 and Game 4, Harden shot just 2 of 10 from the field.
Ouch. Okay, so this is when he was coming off the bench, right? 9 points, 2 of 10. So, okay, so maybe this is where it starts. Because, 10 shots off the bench, fine, I'll take it. But he only, 20%, man. And then 0 for 4 from the 3. Yikes. Okay. Maybe this is the root.
That's 2 straight finals games where a young Harden completely...
Oh. Yeah, and then 2 for 10 again. Oh, wow. So 2 straight games, he scored... Damn. Maybe that got in his head. 20%.
2 of 10 from the field. That's 2 straight finals games where a young Harden completely disappeared.
Shoot.
The Heat would win the series in Game 5, and even though many would give him a pass due to his age, this was the first sign that maybe the lights were just a bit too bright for James Harden. 2013 first round, Games 4 and 6. Jumping ahead to the 2013 Western Conference first round, now facing the Thunder, his former team at this point, as Harden was traded to Houston after the 2012 Finals.
Yep, and this is Harden as the main man.
Now the Rockets actually won this game, avoiding a sweep by the Thunder, but it was despite James Harden, not because of him.
Oh boy.
He had a rough shooting night, going just 4 for 12 from the field and missing all 4 of his 3-point attempts.
And again, I'm going to be a broken record here. Fine. You only made 4 points. Fine. It's not good. But what bothers me is you only shot the ball 12 times. Sorry, guys. I'm going to keep pointing this out because this is the same thing that LeBron has done so many times. And we got to point out, it's not just how many shots you make. It's how active are you? How involved in the game are you? Are you checked out? Are you panicking? Are you freaking out? Because if your job all year has been to take the most shots on the team, and that's his job, especially on the Rockets, of all teams, this was his job, and then you only shoot the ball 12 times, we got a problem. We got a problem. That's not okay.
Harden would also set the Rockets franchise record for turnovers in a playoff game.
Oh, my God. I was too busy focusing on the shots. 10 turnovers. Oh, yeah, so you're right. Yeah, he hurt his team.
With a terrible total of 10. He was simply giving the ball away left and right. Then came Game 6 of that same series, and this one stings a little bit more. Harden put up 26 points, which doesn't sound terrible on the surface, but dig a little deeper and you'll see he needed a whopping 22 shots to get there.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I mean, I'll take this over the last one. At least he shot. At least he tried. The 3 ball was dropping. It's just, he's just choking. I'd rather you aggressively I can't finish that sentence. I'd rather you choke, but actually try than choke and just cave in to the nerves and not even try, if that makes sense.
Shooting just 31.8% from the field. And when the pressure was on in the second half, which will be a reoccurring theme of this video, he went ice cold, hitting only 3 of his 11 shots. To top it all off...
Okay, so he shot the ball 11 times in the fourth? Okay.
He had 4 turnovers as his former team, the Thunder, sent the Rockets packing.
Yeah.
Scoring 26 points on that many shots in an elimination game is never the performance you're looking for from your leader.
No. So he's tried it both ways. He's tried gunslinging, and he can't hit a shot. And then the other method is just to disappear.
2014 first round, game 2.
Uh-huh.
Against the Blazers, Harden put up 18 points on 19 shots, just 31.6% shooting, and he added 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
The real heartbreak, though, came in game 6 of that series. Damian Lillard hit a game winner to end Houston's season, and while Harden had a decent game on offense, his defense was objectively awful, as he was targeted possession after possession down the stretch.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. Terrible defender. And that's the thing, too, because he's not if you're a two-way player and your shot's not going down, you can do other things to contribute to your team. You know, solid defense, rebounding, whatever. Become a playmaker. James Harden, though, he's a one-dimensional player. So if his shot's not going down, it's over. You become an absolute detriment to your team. He's not out there locking down on defense. He's not out there boxing out for rebounds. None of it. The only thing you could say is maybe he's playmaking, but his playmaking, in order for him to be an effective playmaker, his shot needs to be respected first. That's what causes it. That's what causes all the space that he thrives on and he gets his assists from. So if he's not shooting the ball and that shot's not going in, you can check that off the box too. He's not going to be a good playmaker that game. So his shot, he needs to take those shots. Once again, if he played defense and contributed other things to a team success, then he can still thrive when his shot's not falling. But instead, he doesn't. He's lazy. He's lazy on defense.
2015 semifinals, game 6 versus the Clippers.
And then?
All right, now we get to a game that had to be on the list. The Rockets were facing elimination, and Harden was having an absolute nightmare of a second half.
Oh yeah, Matt Barnes would lock him down. He's a hell of a defender.
He started the third quarter going just 1 of 7 from the field. Things got so bad that the coach, Kevin McHale, actually benched James Harden to start the fourth quarter of an elimination game.
Nice.
Let that sink in. Your superstar, the guy you have relied upon for this entire season to the tune of 27.4 points per game, is sitting on the bench when your season is on the line.
I mean, Kevin McHale of all people, he knows what a clutch player looks like, and he knows what a choker looks like. 3-time champion, by the way. Hell of a player. Doesn't get nearly enough respect. Kevin McHale, hats off to you. Man. And he never even complains about not getting enough respect. He always gives it right to Bird. Anyways, he knows what this looks like. So of all coaches, I understand that Kevin McHale was doing that. He's like, nah, man, he's collapsing on the team. He's hurting the team. You know, we got to get him out of here.
And
when your leader is choking, the team doesn't know what to do. Because part of the leader's job is to inspire and motivate everyone else. And this is the opposite of inspiring and motivating your players. If you're playing passive and you're choking and you're not making eye contact with anybody and you just, it's obvious you just want to get the hell out of the building. Yeah, no one's inspired. Your troops are not inspired.
And something crazy happened. The Rockets went on a 40-15 run without their top scorer. And came all the way back to win the game. The Rockets saved their season by taking Harden off the floor. 2015 Western Conference Finals, Game 5.
So it worked. Get the poison off of the court, and then everyone else, they rallied each other up. They inspired each other. Or Kevin McHale inspired them, however it went down. It wasn't Harden.
Still alive in the playoffs, Harden had a chance to redeem himself after the mess against the Clippers.
And then?
But in Game 5 against the Warriors, he had one of the worst games in NBA playoff history. He scored 14 points, shot 2 of 11 from the field, and get this.
Again. Why you shooting the ball 11 times, man? Scoring champ? Why you doing that? 18, man. He is really comfortable in the sub 20% field goal range in the playoffs, isn't he? 12 turnovers, guys. 12 turnovers. What the hell? Is he... It's almost like he's getting paid off, you guys. You know, but he can't be getting paid off every single season. So I think it's psychological. But this looks bad. To get 12 turnovers, like to not shoot the ball is bad enough because you're like, what are you doing out? What are you doing? You know, we would question this back in the day. And, you know, the players would be like, what the hell are you doing? Are you tanking the game? What are you doing? But on top of that, you get 12 freaking turnovers. You gotta be tanking the game at this point.
He set an NBA
How much
record
did they pay you?
for the most turnovers in a playoff game with 12. With yet another awful performance in a must-win playoff game, this was the season where many began to consider him as a, quote, playoff choker.
Yeah. Hey, you said the word. I'm proud of you.
2017 semifinals, games 5 and 6 against the Spurs. In game 5, Harden actually had a decent first half.
And then?
But then, the wheels completely fell off in the second half and overtime. The Beard scored a grand total of 10 points on just 3 of 8 shooting. And to add insult to injury, he got absolutely stuffed by a 39-year-old Manu Ginobili on the very last play of the game, sealing the loss for the Rockets. And then came game 6. And it was an absolute disaster.
And then
the Spurs were without their main star, Kawhi Leonard. So many expected Harden, like many greats before him, to come out strong after a tough loss and get the Rockets to a Game 7 in dominant fashion.
By the way, shout out to Kawhi Leonard, because while his co-star, James Harden, was doing his typical poop his pants on the court ordeal, not a lot of people mentioned Kawhi was actually hooping his heart out. He was playing really hard. He played great. He did the best he could.
In reality, however, San Antonio absolutely demolished the Rockets.
Oh my God.
Winning 114-75.
Oh my God.
And Harden had just 10 points.
11 field goal attempts. Scoring champion again. So comfortable in the sub 20 range. God. Oh. 6 turnovers, 10 points. Disgusting. You made 2 shots and you got 6 turnovers. But more disgusting than anything, you shot the ball 11 times, bro. You're letting your team down.
2 of 11 shooting with 6 turnovers. Harden looked helpless as the Rockets were again blown out in an elimination game.
How much did they pay you?
This time at home. 2018 Western Conference Finals, Game 7 versus the Warriors. This game is most remembered for the Rockets missing an unbelievable 27 consecutive three-point shots.
Yeah, this is the classic game. How are you not going to change the strategy? How are you not going to go for one freaking layup or a mid-range jumper in this nonsense?
And who was leading the charge for those misses? You guessed it, James Harden, who was desperately needed because his co-star Chris Paul got hurt in Game 6.
Yes, I think this game is more of a representation of James Harden actually shooting the ball. And what happens if James Harden actually shoots? He can't win, can he? He can shoot the ball 30 times and he's going to make 2. He can shoot the ball 11 times, let his team down, and he's going to make 2. There's nothing he can do.
He missed 10 consecutive three-pointers during that brutal stretch. While the entire team struggled, as the leader and primary ball handler, Harden, who won his first scoring title, must assume a large share of the blame for not finding alternative ways to score points and rally his teammates.
No kidding.
As it would be expected of any superstar of his caliber. The Rockets had
he's one of the best ball handlers out there. Get to the basket, get a mid-range shot, draw a double team, do something. Find an open man.
Chance to reach the NBA Finals and be the team that ended the Warriors dynasty. But unfortunately, at this point, James Harden almost felt cursed as soon as the regular season ended each year. 2019 first round, Game 3. Now the Rockets actually won this game against the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
So it might seem weird to include it, but Harden was historically bad. He missed his first 15 shots in a row. That's the most consecutive missed shots to start a playoff game.
All right, 0 for 15. Wow. Wow. So he didn't score until 7.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So what, he went like 12, 24, 36 plus 5. He went 41 minutes without scoring the ball. Can we just cue in the Kawhi laugh?
Game in NBA history. He ended up shooting just 3 of 20 from the field.
All right, at least he shot the ball, but yeah, you can't win. You can't win. You can't win. You shoot the ball 8 times, you can't win. You shoot the ball 20, you can't score. It's guys, if he's not getting paid for this, like if he's not taking some money under the table for this, he should. No one would even know. You couldn't even notice.
To put that in perspective, of all players who have taken at least 20 shots in a playoff game over the last 30 years, only Karl Malone in 1997 and Kenyon Martin in 2003 had worse shooting percentages.
What happened to Vinsanity there, man? What happened to you with that 3 and 20? Ooh, Paul Pierce. Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone has... Not everyone, but sometimes you have a really bad game. Karl Malone in 97. What the hell? What game was that? Wow. Volume?
Finals.
I hit the M button. Don't hit the M button on your keyboard unless you want the video to mute.
Worst shooting percentages.
For dirt.
2021 semifinals, Game 5 versus the Bucks. Now this one has a bit of an asterisk because Harden was clearly playing hurt.
The hamstring?
He suffered a hamstring injury early in Game 1 and missed several games. He tried to come back in Game 5 for Brooklyn, but he was clearly not himself.
I remember this pretty well. I was working while this was going on, but yeah, I applaud the effort, but it ended up hurting the team in my opinion. But I do applaud the effort that he tried.
He went just 1 of 10 from the field, missed all 8 of his 3-point attempts, and he had 4 turnovers.
Oh, God, he hurt yeah. I was not exaggerating. He really hurt the team.
All while clearly hobbling around on one leg. The Nets actually won this game, which is kind of amazing considering how poorly their star player performed. You almost have to wonder if they wouldn't have been better off without Harden playing as an obvious decoy.
I think it's obvious. It would have been
2022 semifinals, Games 5 and 6 versus the Heat. Game 5 was just an all-around brutal performance. Harden, now playing for the 76ers, scored just 14 points on 5 of 13 shooting.
Yeah, this is the last time that I didn't buy into it, but I had doubts in my position on James Harden was right here when the playoffs started, because the regular season, again, it's the same old crap. But this is the last time he tricked me, man. He looked great. He looked great. In Philly, Embiid, all that, it was all working. Everything was going great. So I was thinking, you know what? Maybe there's so little pressure on him now, he won't choke. But what am I staring at here? 4 turnovers. Shot the ball only 13 times. Once again, he actually shot the ball better than usual. It's above 20%. But yeah, same old James Harden in the playoffs, guys.
And yet again, completely disappeared in the second half, going just 1 of 5 from the field. He also had 4 turnovers and a plus-minus of -29. The Sixers got absolutely hammered, losing by 35 points in a pivotal 5th game with the series tied.
Damn, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. I understand why you got yourself out in the first round, man. It must be hell out there. Whatever's going on with you psychologically out there, it must be hell. Shoot.
2. But somehow, Game 6 might have been even worse. In an elimination game at home, James Harden went completely scoreless in the entire second half. He took only 2 shots, again, seeming like a shell of the man who could still play at a high level.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, taking 2 shots in the second half. You're James freaking Harden. Could you imagine Jordan doing this? Wilt Chamberlain doing this? Larry Bird doing this? Kobe? Like,
in the
no
regular
way.
season. He finished with a negative 16 plus minus, as the Celtics sent the Sixers home in 6. 2023 semifinals, Game 7 versus the Celtics. Another Game 7, another disappointing performance from Harden.
Game 7s are the worst, you guys. That's his worst nightmare.
He scored just 9 points on 3 of 11 shooting and had 5 turnovers.
There it is again.
And just like in countless years before, he struggled in the second half in a way that was jarring, making only 1 out of his 3 shots when the pressure was at its highest. 2024 first round, Game 5 versus the Mavericks. It was a crucial Game 5 with the series tied. Harden put up a meager 7 points on just 2 of 12 shooting.
It's just so redundant. I can't believe how consistent he is at choking. 7 points, man. Scoring champion. More turnovers than field goals made. Sub 20%. He is so consistent. He only shot the ball 12 times. Man.
0 of 3 in the second half and had 4 turnovers. The Clippers got blown out by 30 points, and Harden's lack of offensive production was a major factor, which at this point was basically a guarantee if the beard was on your team. 2025 first round, Game 7 versus the Nuggets.
And this is the most recent one. Here we go. Now we're right back to this point in history. Do you think he changes? Do you think it gets better? I think, hold on. Game 7, because I watched this whole thing. I think he shot the ball 8 times, maybe 9 times. I think it's 8. I think it's 8, you guys.
Another Game 7, another Harden letdown.
Do or die, Game 7.
With everything on the line, he scored just 7 points and went 2 of 8 from the field.
There it is. 8. Oof, that's a bad pause. Oh, man. Well, so, okay, let's keep it consistent here, because it's the last one. 7 points, cool. 2 turnovers, oops, which is the same exact amount as, sorry. Come on, John Madden Pen. Okay, so 7 points. You got the same amount of turnovers as field goals made, again, 2. How many games here have we seen him make 2 field goals, by the way? I feel like we've seen it a bunch. Played better than usual, because he actually got above 20%. Only shot the ball 8 times. Inexcusable scoring champion. Inexcusable. 11 is bad enough. 8? Come on now. Yeah, he's the most consistent playoff choker I think I've ever seen. Because he never has a breakout moment.
No urgency, no takeover. Just another disappointing finish to another disappointing playoff run.
And he had Kawhi Leonard playing his heart out. And I give him so much crap for missing so much basketball. But it's time I defend him for once. He played his freaking heart out in that Game 7. And I'm kind of sad for him that he was stuck with James Harden choking, pooping his pants all over the freaking court.
I just went through 13 different playoff runs where James Harden didn't just have a bad game, but a historic meltdown in some of the biggest games of his entire career. Yep. But what does this all mean? I think James Harden is a legendary scorer, a worthy former league MVP, and a future Hall of Famer. But when you go down this list, when you look at how often he came up short in a multitude of ways, it's hard to ignore this unfortunate pattern when thinking about his basketball legacy. Now I understand, bad games happen to every great player.
Not like this.
Michael Jordan once went 9 of 35 in a loss in the 1997.
Okay. What'd he get? He still got you 29 points. Yeah, that's terrible shooting, MJ. Absolutely. For a guy that averages 50%. Yeah, that's terrible. But what is this, 96, 97? So he played terrible. They won the series. They won the championship. A little bit different, though. You know, it's a little bit different than Game 7, you choke, and your team goes home for the rest of the year. But yeah, that's an inexcusable performance by Michael Jordan.
In Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron, of course, has the 2011 NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And they called
I love how you don't even have to put up stats for that one. Yeah, we all know about that one. At Tragic Magic, yeah. He had one bad game.
Tragic Johnson for an entire year after the 1984 finals. Having said that, the difference between these legends and James Harden lies in the fact that his worst games became almost certain to occur in the biggest moments. Not once or twice in his career, but so often that we now expect him to not come up big when the games matter the most. And that's why, no matter how great he's been in the regular season, when it comes to the playoffs, James Harden has likely become the worst playoff superstar of all time.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Is there anyone who can challenge Harden for the title of the worst playoff superstar? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, I can't think of a single person. All right, I've been watching basketball religiously since 1987, right? I've never seen anything like this, you guys. Like, it's so much to the point that, I mean, if this happened once, I would question, did you get paid? Did you get paid off? You know, what's going on here? That's not you. That's not how you play. But the fact that it happened, like, what? How many examples did Johnny just go through here? Like 12, 13 examples? I lost count. I think it's even more than that. I think it was like maybe 14 examples. Either way, it's way beyond one example. After that, you're just a choker. You know, by the 5th time, you're a choker. By the 10th time, like, what are we doing here? By this year, why were we even I wasn't having a conversation, but why were people having a conversation that James Harden's looking good? Why was this a thing? I don't understand it, you guys. He's fooled everyone year after year after year. My question for you guys, well, two. One, Johnny's question, which is, can you guys think of any other playoff choker near this level? And I know it's funny to say LeBron, but you guys got to admit, this is a whole different level than LeBron. Oh, this is beyond LeBron level. This is something special. So, outside of that, who do you guys think is the biggest playoff choker of all time? 2, do you think he's getting paid under the table? Or do you really think he's just psychologically broken and he's choking every single season in the playoffs? I want to know. Me, I think he's choking. I don't think he's getting paid under the table. I don't know the truth, obviously. That's just my guess. But I'm curious to see what you all have to say. Anyways, everyone, great video, Johnny. Hope you're doing well. You guys, I just wanted to quickly thank you for everything. It's been a great journey thus far with this channel. The community that we've established. You know, it's like at this point I feel like I've known a bunch of you guys for over a year, and we're just having one long continuous conversation. And I just wanted to quickly say thank you to everyone. So thanks for being part of the community. Thanks for always commenting, you know, so our conversations continue on. It's I feel really blessed to have this. I started this channel, you know, when I did, just because I was really missing talking hoops with people. And you know, I kind of did this. I didn't expect anything of it, except for maybe there'll be like, you know, maybe 5 or 10 of you guys out there that I can talk some hoops with that start like following. I didn't expect this, you know, 70,000 subs at this point, and there's so many of you out there that I'm talking to in the comments every single day that I got everything I asked for. I miss talking hoops. And I've got a bunch of new friends to talk hoops with. So sorry for the long outro, but I just I had a moment. I just wanted to, you know, express that to you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm just a dude who missed talking hoops, and I'm so glad I get to talk hoops with all of you. Everyone, have a wonderful night. Tell your loved ones you love them. Be good to your people. Be good to yourself. Be safe. Have some fun. And be water, my friends.